So let's take a moment to just feel our shoulders, give them a wiggle, get ourselves comfortable. Take a moment to take a nice breath, allowing a feeling of ease to spread over our bodies, feeling a sense of stillness pouring down from above, like a golden shower of light that enters through our crowns and brings with it a feeling of ease and a sense of stillness. And if you are not muted, would you please mute? And as we feel that stillness pouring down, I want you to imagine also that you are feeling your feet or your seat connecting below to Mother Earth. There is a column of light that surrounds each one of us. Beautiful column of golden light. And the gold is pouring down from above. And there's also a beautiful light that is healing, that pours up through our column from Mother Earth. As we feel our connection with her, we feel that ground beneath us, that solid space. And our gratitude goes out to her for her nurturing, her love, for providing us with everything we need for our sustenance. Every atom, every element that makes up this body comes from her. She always is there to provide us and never judges us. And so we give thanks to her and we feel that connection. We feel a steadiness that she provides us, a grounding, like an anchor. And that solidity allows the energy to rise up through the column to our hearts. And I invite you to put your right hand on your heart and your left hand on your right. And feel that energy of place. Feel the heart as the center between that downpouring of gold from above and that uppouring of light from below. And as we breathe, we allow the gold to fill our hearts. And it grows and expands. And the feeling of warmth, of light, of stillness and peace begins to expand within us. With every breath, we become a little lighter, a little more expansive and solid. And as we feel that strength, we begin to also feel that our hearts are opening up and expanding and weaving together. All of those here on this call. Imagine you have these threads of our hearts that reach out and weave together and create a fabric. The fabric expands and reaches out across all time and space to weave this fabric. And the fabric grows bigger and bigger as we weave into it the threads of the hearts of all our loved ones. All those we care about, our friends, our family, our neighbors. And we're weaving this beautiful fabric that grows bigger and bigger as more and more hearts weave into it, further and further afield, across our cities, our states. And the weaving incorporates animals, our pets. It incorporates more and more people, all sorts of people, different colored skins, different belief systems, different ages, different genders. All are weaving into this weave of heart essence that we create. This fabric that becomes like a tapestry, weaving its way across these oceans, across the continents, and eventually filling the earth and surrounding Mother Earth with a web of love, a web of heart, a web of stillness and peace and connection. And that web reaches out and weaves into all time and all space, in all worlds and all universes, with the one heart. And so I want you to continue to feel that golden energy in the heart as you rest your hands. And so we invite you and are grateful for you to hear this message that we bring to you today. For you are at the crossroads, many levels. There are so many things that are impacting you from many perspectives at this time. You can perhaps already feel the shift between the time of the solstice, the time of your holidays, and this lull between the end of the holiday season as it approaches the beginning of a new year. Perhaps with a little trepidation that which you thought may be over and changing is still with you. And that things have not eased necessarily. And perhaps there have been challenges of health, perhaps challenges of finances, relationships, issues, things that have come up that are asking to be looked at, asking to be examined, and asking to be resolved. And these issues that come up represent in many ways some aspect of shadow, some aspect that up to this point you have not been able to deal with, or that is now encroaching upon your life. And you notice around you also in the wider world that there is more and more chaos. There's more and more fear, more and more concerns for security, for safety, for a sense of having a rudder, having a compass, and not knowing quite where anything is going. And this is why we always recommend that you begin your day with this anchor of Mother Earth and Father Sky, and that default place of your heart, that place of center. Because if you have a sense of groundedness, you have a sense of your longitude and your latitude. At least you have some foundation on which to base your sense of security. Because many of the areas of your life that have been the foundations of security are shifting. And they will shift even more so in this coming year. Because there is an intention that you become a part of a, what you might call, network of consumers, of people who know how to behave, of people who do not think for themselves, and people who do not wish to stand out from the crowd. So we ask you please to mute if you're not muted, because there are other sounds coming through. Thank you. And so it's important to have a foundation, and the foundation of everything beyond Mother Earth and Father Sky is the foundation of the heart, because you are so used to relying upon your minds, upon your thinking process to figure things out. And this is no longer able to sustain you. It is important to develop a relationship with your heart, with your inner guidance, and with your intuition. It's important to find something solid and powerful to trust as you navigate these rough waters of these times. We want to assure you that the rough times will come to an end, and all in good time, because everything that is in chaos is reorganizing itself, as it does in certain kinds of systems theories, until it recreates itself according to a new blueprint, according to what you might call a new plan. In many ways, it is God's plan, or the plan of a higher purpose for this planet and for humanity and for your species. Because it is pretty clear, you do not have to be a rocket scientist to know that things are not working well, that people are not happy by and large, that many are suffering, and that many are growing richer and more powerful at the expense of those who are suffering. And this is not tolerable. This is not something that we endorse, because we wish for everyone to feel the love and the light and the peace in their hearts, and to have a sense of connection to their own divinity and to the unfolding of a higher purpose for humanity, the unfolding of what we call the new earth, a life and an earth and a society that is foundationed on justice, on peace, cooperation, and love, and mutual respect and understanding. And as you are very aware, there is not all that much of that around, except perhaps in your own circles of friends and family. Hopefully, that is part of your experience. But when you read or listen to news and you look outside at what is going on in the world, there is an escalation of violence, an escalation of separative consciousness, of we against them, the goodies and the baddies, and the judgments are rife. Judgments of one about the other, the demeaning of one in the face of another. And we wish to help you to navigate a way through this morass, to find peace and serenity in your own life, no matter what is going on outside. Because if you do not have a core of heart, if you do not have a center, if you do not have a practice, if you do not have a way to interrupt all the old patterns of judgments, of comparisons, of self-doubt, of hatred, of negative emotions, you will not be able to thrive during these times. Those who thrive are the ones who are able to be flexible, who are able to understand that they create their own realities, and they do so through their belief systems. So if you believe in misery, if you believe the world is out to get you, that dogs eat dogs, which is not actually true, but that concept of the wild jungle transferred to the big cities is an old concept that many have bought and believe in, instead of believing that you have within you that divine spark, that power of creation to establish for yourself the kind of life that you would choose to have. In other words, to choose to be happy no matter what the circumstances, to choose to feel abundant, even when you have only a few coins jingling in your pocket and not much left in your bank account. So to have that sense that you are okay no matter what requires a certain level of discipline. And that discipline has to be directed primarily at your internal dialogues, the voices that run around in your head that perhaps say you do not deserve, or that you are not beautiful, or you are not strong, or you are not capable, that you cannot have, that you have to suffer, that you are born in sin. All of these impositions upon your innocence that have arrived when you arrived, that came in your first breaths, that came in the internalization of the understandings of your ancestors, that life was meant to be hard, a struggle, that you had to work hard and you had to suffer. All of these falsities have been ingrained into you for thousands upon thousands of years, just as all the isms, the ageism, the sexism, the all of those places where people have been separated out and determined that they are less than somebody else because of their status in life, because they have a degree, because they have the money and the nice house and the nice car, and maybe they have a way to wheedle themselves into a better position and wheedle somebody else out. And so it's very important for you to examine every single thought that you have, every single feeling, every single judgment that you carry, firstly about yourself, and secondly about another, about any other. Because you understand, when you have that discipline of the heart and that examination of your thoughts, your belief systems, your attitudes, your judgments, your assumptions, and your projections, you recognize that you have within you the power of the divine to completely choose to have the experience that you desire. And if you are conversant with universal law, you will understand the law of attraction, that you draw to you that which you vibrate as. Your level of consciousness will draw to you those people who resonate at a similar vibrational level. And so if you are used to complaining and you're used to feeling that life is a struggle and that you'll never make it, those are the kind of people you will draw to yourself. If you believe that life is intended to be filled with love and blessing and grace and ease and magic and serendipity, you will have these experiences and you will meet those who also believe and live their lives according to this belief system, because your belief system determines the nature of your experience. This has been shown very clearly by many of the brilliant minds of your time, like Bruce Lipton, for instance, with his studies of genetics, and the many other avenues of expression, of understanding of how to shift some of these patterns. For all of the patterns that run your life have been installed in you when you were young, before you knew how to make your own decisions, and you knew any better than the ones who imprinted them upon you, and you were able to make any choices against that conditioning that was so prevalent when you were a child. For you were but like a sponge, and you absorbed and believed everything, because your parents and your ancestors and your family were like gods to you. They were the authority figures, and what they told you became the law. It became your belief system. And so it takes a lot of courage. It takes practice, and it takes a spiritual application to choose for yourself what to believe and what to discard. And you have the ability to tune into your hearts to understand and know that which is right for you, that which resonates for you. It is important that you understand also how to determine whether something is good for you and not so good for you, whether your body likes and is attuned to any kind of substance or food or supplements, whether it is good for you or harmful for you. It is important to develop a relationship with this temple that is your body, for it is your vehicle that carries you through this lifetime. And if you treat it with respect and love, and you feed it healthy food and healthy water and positive energy and love, it will respond. It will keep you going for a long time. You would not neglect to put the right oil in your car, or to put the fuel that is the correct fuel for it, to do its maintenance on a regular basis so it does not break down upon you. And there are many today who succumb to terrible diets, to poor lifestyles, to poor beliefs of self, and to lack of exercise and lack of the ability to explore and examine new ways of seeing, of thinking, of exploring. And so if you continue to ply that kind of poison into your system, like sugars and processed foods and GMO products, you will start to wear your body down even faster. Especially at this time, it is important to be vigilant about your diet, because there are so many chemicals, so much toxicity that is in your air, in your water, in your soil. And there are so many products that carry within them harmful ingredients. And so it's important to take care of yourself, to love yourself, to honor and respect yourself and who you are. You are the expression of God's love. You are the divine blueprint within you, manifesting as a human being with choices, with belief systems, and with the ability to love or to not love, to judge or to love, to fear or to trust. And it is this divine you might say, ordination that was given to you that we call free will, that allows you to make your own choices. And of course, your choices will determine the nature of your experience and your reality. When you choose wisely, when you choose healthy choices, when you choose healthy thinking, healthy beliefs, healthy attitudes, then you have a life that expresses and reflects that. You might consider what the Buddha called the Eightfold Path of right living, of right employment, of right thinking, and all the other right attitudes that create a way of living that enhances your life and that enhances the society around you. Because it's important to understand that you are all connected. Even though you see individuals and you see through the eyes of separation consciousness, through duality, you actually are one body, the one body of God. And that body is interconnected, interwoven with all of life. In fact, everything that is interwoven. And so it is important to understand that you cannot harm another without harming yourself. And that even harming yourself harms another. There are those who have given up and decided that they wish to leave this lifetime and have chosen to exit. And when you consider that they did not just harm themselves, but they harmed everyone who loved them and left everyone in tremendous sadness and shock and tremendous upheaval because they made a choice to harm themselves. When you harm another, that harm comes back to you. And so even if there is tremendous evil in the world around you, tremendous heartlessness, and that there are those who would harm another without consideration, you know that there is such a law of karma that brings everything back home to each one. And this is another reason why it is important to live a life of do no harm, of being able to see each one as perfect in the eyes of God or Goddess, to see each one as another yourself, to understand that each one carries their baggage, their burdens, the weight of their karma, of that which they have chosen for this lifetime to expunge, of the challenges that they chose to bear upon themselves in order to free themselves of their karma. For this is a lifetime. This is a time frame upon your planet where you have this opportunity to face your shadows, to speak to them directly and say, what do you want of me? What must I do to make peace with you, to find a way to have forgiveness? If anybody I have harmed, or if I have done anything in my past or in my current lifetime to harm another, I wish now to redress that. I wish to forgive those who have harmed me. I wish to forgive my ancestors for any vows I may have made. I wish to release myself from these obligations. I wish to begin a new life with a brand new attitude, with a brand new slate. And so this year, as the new year approaches, when you consider making your New Year's resolution, make them wisely. Make only the kind that you can keep. Make only the ones you can bite off, not more than you can chew, but the ones that you can digest easily, and take small steps to improve your attitude, your life, and to clear up all the old patterns that have kept you stuck, because you have a new window that is opening up for this new year, a window of opportunity for cooperation, for establishing the new ways of being on the planet, of love, of caring, of consideration for others, of caring for those who are not as fortunate as you, who do not have a roof over their head or enough food to eat, of finding a way to help another, perhaps an elderly person that needs a little support, or someone on the street standing on the corner in the cold, waiting for perhaps $1 as a handout so that they have a place to sleep or some food to eat that night. It is important to love each one, because you never know how you may end up in the same place. There but for fortune go you or I, as the song goes. It is important to open your hearts, to begin to crack open those places where you are scared to show your vulnerability, to be sincere, to be able to share with another that which is heavy upon your heart, and be able to find an ear and a shoulder, and also to offer that to somebody else. For there is nothing as beautiful as listening to somebody, allowing them to express their pain, their suffering, and their sorrow, and just listen. Or to be able to share what is on your heart with another, and they just listen to you. Remember that you are vulnerable in this big wide world of every unforeseen circumstance. You are as vulnerable as another, and you are just as beautiful and powerful, just as fresh and innocent as another. You were all born innocent and pure. You were born ready to explore and examine and play, and you somehow, many of you, lost that along the way. And we encourage you to find that inspiration again, to find a desire to explore, to learn something new, learn a new language, an instrument, learn how to do something you've never done before, to expand your consciousness, expand your horizons, perhaps to travel and see new things and meet new people, not the same kind of people that you always meet, but to engage in a conversation on the street, to not be scared, to meet face to face, heart to heart with another, to discover that sameness of quality that you all carry as human beings. For you are all one. You are all children of God. You are all born out of that divine love that creates everything, that is the foundation of creation, that loves you, that gave you free will, that gave you permission to choose. And that choice is yours to make. You can choose to suffer, or you can choose to exalt, to praise the Creator, to give thanks and find life beautiful to see the beauty all around you of nature, the flowers, the breeze, the sun, the snow, even the cold and the heat, the changes, for all is change. Everything changes. And as you adapt and you find in each day and in each moment something to be grateful for, as you find yourself reflecting on how magnificently you have managed to come to this place in this time, in this lifetime, and you reflect and you see that you have managed to deal with all of your challenges and become triumphant. You have managed to reach this point in your life where you are ready to step across one more threshold. The first threshold that will take you to the new earth, an earth that is foundationed on love, on fellowship, on understanding and respect. For know that you are not alone in this great cosmos. You have many who watch over you and love you. You have many in the spirit world, many in the guidance realms, who would take your hand and help you, who would help you to find, to acquire that thing which your heart longs for, to find peace in your life, to give you advice and bring you guidance in the stillness of your heart. For that is where you will find us. You will find the guidance realms will go to the ends of the earth to bring you that which your heart longs for, as long as it is for the highest good of yourself and all. And as long as you believe and trust and know that you are worthy of having all of God's gifts, of great abundance, of manifesting that which your heart longs for, be it company, friendship, loyalty, companionship, fun. So we encourage you to trust. We encourage you to reach out to your guides. Reach out to whatever it is that you call to, divinity. Know that that divinity is within you as much as you consider it to be without. Know that there is an above and a below, that they reflect each other. The laws of the universe, the laws of what we have called before when we spoke, the law of attraction, the laws of correspondence, as within, so without, as above, so below. As you trust, as you express love in your inside, so you find it on the outside. As you expand it on the outside and touch the hearts of those who suffer with a smile, with a gentle touch, with a kind word, so you bring that light and that glow into you as well. We recommend that each day you establish this column of light that we began with, and that you expand that glow within your heart of that golden energy, that you expand it out and you create around you a sphere of golden light for protection, to keep you safe, to keep any infiltration of negativity, of judgments, of control, of harm, that you create this sphere with a semi-permeable membrane. It allows in only love and light and benevolence, and it allows out your radiant love, that light that you call in and then send out to touch the hearts of those who suffer. Your semi-permeable membrane will keep you safe, but it will allow you to send out that light, to send it as a beam to heal and to bring comfort to those who are suffering, to those who are scared, to those who dwell in the darkness. Remember, the more light you call in, the more light you allow to expand out, and it fills you, and it is who you are. And as you become that light, you become the lighthouse for others. And all you have to do is shine. Put that sphere around you in the morning when you awaken and at night when you go to bed. You will find that you will have an easier time of everything, and nothing will harm you. You will prosper, you will blossom and thrive. Know that we are loving you, that we are always with you. We are within your breath, and you can call upon us at any time. We will always answer, and it is time for you to listen, to be still and hear the answers, for they come in that still small voice. And so we love you, and we will take a break now. And when we return, we will answer your questions. Thank you.
So Raphael, I think you needed to make me co-host. I'd never got to see anybody entering the room because